Hey guys, Prof here, and welcome to another Pokemon Masters video going over the kit of Neo Champions Selene and Dawnwing's Necrozma, apparently, according to Poma Tools. I just see that here. I think it's meant to be a C. Anyway, yeah, this unit is probably the best ghost unit in the game so far. I think Renegade Cynthia might have finally been dethroned, or like both variants of Cynthia actually. We'll get into that later though. So yeah, this is an absolute monster of a damage dealer. Let's have a look at the stats first. We've got the typical kind of like offensive unit stat spread with over 200 in bulk, nearly 500 attack. Let's just see it at max potential here. Oh yeah, exactly. So we've got over 500 attack, really good speed because of the sprinty aspect of this unit as well. It's a sprint and field unit. It's going to be available until the 9th of July, so there's about 5 weeks to get this unit. It's weak to dark, and yeah, as I mentioned previously, it's got this role combination that is really nice for the battle rally. As a bit of an overview, this unit is a bit of a mix between, in my opinion at least, Signature Bead that we just recently got, and Variety Cynthia is also kind of similar to this one, just massive AoE damage, and that passive that just makes Syncs and DPS moves AoE. And yeah, I'd say it's like a bit of an amalgamation between those two. Let's go over the moves first, and then we can have a look at the passives and the grid, and whether or not this unit should be prioritized as a summon or not. So very similar to the Duskmane Necrozma, we've got the Moongeist Beam here, except it was already a 40 gauge move, unlike Solgaleo's version. Since it first debuted with Annie Lily in 2021. 4 years ago, oh my god, that's so long. Anyway, it's got the innate piercing blows, which is obviously a fantastic passive to have. It does, I think, drag down the power of this move just a little bit, but it's completely fine. It doesn't need to hit the gas that the Duskmane Necrozma had. And keep in mind, this is going to be AoE as well. Then we've got the Moonlight, so basically exactly the same thing as the Duskmane as well. I think you can already tell we're probably not going to be using this. It's going to be used passively, just like Necrozma. Almost like these two units are related somehow. The buddy move, however, is different. We've got a jaw-dropping 473 base power, and we only got one use of it, unlike Necrozma's, who could use it every sync cycle. It's also got the innate piercing blows effect here, and it reduces special defense by 3 stat ranks, which is actually very similar to Duskmane Necrozma's one, since that reduced defense by 3. And yeah, but this part is different. Instead of setting the circle, the more MP remaining for the user's Moonlight, the more sync move countdown you get, which really leaning into like the sprinty aspect of this unit. So obviously, if you've not used any Moonlights yet, you get a massive amount of turn reduction with this. For the trainer move, we have more cooldown reduction, so that swipes off an entire turn as well with the two move countdown and the use as well. Adds the super effective next effect to the user. That is pretty nice for on type, but this unit is it's a bit overkill, honestly. You do not need any kind of super effective multipliers for this unit. This is an absolute monster, so we're probably going to be looking at this unit from an off-type perspective. It increases the special moves up next effect by 3 ranks. Spoiler alert, this is another thing that this unit really likes to do. And it applies Alola Circle special to the allied field of play. Okay, so like really similar to the Duskmane Necrozma one. That's Alola Circle obviously is an up to 40% damage addition. In addition, obviously, to your Alola Spirit Master passive, that can, if both are at the max, that's already a 90% DPS multiplier and a 40% sync multiplier, which is incredible. Due to the fact that this unit is a sprint unit, the sync move does have an innate effect, which is basically brain power. The more the user's special attack is raised, and it also has the piercing blows So fantastic sync move. Obviously, if your special attack is at +6, this power is doubled to 440. Then let's have a look at the skills. As already mentioned, this is obviously a Master Fair with the most amount of, with the more Alola units on here, the stronger you get. So just think you can pair this obviously with Annie Lily. Both Lunalas together work very nicely, although Lily is much more of an on-type specialist due to her grid expansion than off-type. But other than that, there are like a couple of other Alola supports that come to mind that you'd want to be used with this unit. I think personally that the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon Selene variant with Nihilego is probably one of this unit's best partners, because it... hang on. The music stopped for some reason. Let's pause the recording just for a moment. Actually, no. Oh no, there we go. Okay, all good. Yeah, this is obviously the background music for the Neo Champions, in case that wasn't obvious. Okay, so where were we? Back to the... Oh no, I was talking about Alola partners. Yeah, just typical Alola Circle and Alola Master Passive aspects. You want as many Alola units as possible. This unit obviously already counts as one, so adding at least one extra one does provide quite a noticeable damage increase. It doesn't need to be a full Alola team though. So then we've got the Beast that calls the Moon passive. Grand Entry 6, straight up, you enter, maxed out offensive stat. Pokemon moves and sync moves crit. Also self-explanatory. You don't need your sync is always going to crit. You don't need to roll the dice with the 80% chance to crit like that unit without Soften Up would have. This is just straight up will always crit. Always really, really nice, especially for things like Damage Challenge, which can be infuriating when you don't crit there. Then we've got the attack, Pokemon moves, and sync moves expansion. This is really, really similar to the 3 Pokemon TCG sync pairs, variety sync pairs that we just got. Hoppensation, Ethan and Ho-Oh, and Cynthia and Spiritomb. They all came in with they all crit all the time. They all boosted their offensive stat to the max when they first came in, and they had everything AoE. So this is basically that they were also all, I think, sprint units, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they were all sprint units. So this feels like the culmination of those 3 variety units. And then the last part of this passive is Alola Circle's Special Extension 5 extends the duration of Alola Circle. Pretty good. 50% longer Alola Circle extension. What more do you want? Then we have another passive here. Continuously Expel Energy. Grants one of the following effects depending on how many opponents were hit after the user's sync move. Okay, so this is the part where it's kind of like Sigma-Suit Bead in that you get boosts depending on how many opponents are still on the allied field on the opposing field of play. When it's 3 opponents that were hit by your sync move, you get free move next, which is obviously incredible for gauge management. When there's only 2 opponents left on the allied field of play, you get a bit of a mix. You get a bit of a middle ground here. You get a move gauge charged by 2, and you get a special move up next effect by 1, which is equal to a 40% damage stack. And when there's only 1 unit left, i.e. when your sync or your buddy move has annihilated both sides, this is the effect that I think you're going to have most often, since the mid is always bulkier, increases the user's special move up next effect by 3 ranks, which is equal to 120% damage multiplier. That is in addition to Alola Spirit, Alola Circle, grid nodes that we've yet to even cover, possible rebuff, zone. Spoiler alert: this is a field unit. It can set its own zone with the X roll. This unit is kind of cracked. It's kind of stupid, honestly. And then we're not done yet, because we've got another passive here, and it is Warm Moonlight. Whenever your HP drops to half or below, you automatically basically use a Moonlight without needing to waste a turn to not deal damage. You just continuously deal damage and heal passively. And you don't only heal passively, but you also increase your special move up next by 2 ranks, which is 80% damage again. So this unit stacks special move up next like nobody's business. It's utterly ridiculous, honestly, how much special move up next this unit has, and just damage increase in general. So already 1 out of 5, completely busted. Completely busted. It's like Variety Cynthia with the Spiritomb was already like a phenomenal ghost type attacker with the buddy move, with the and the like that buddy move Shadow Ball that she had with the that gets stronger the more MP you use. But this unit it just takes it to a whole new level, honestly. The Smoon stacks and the ridiculous damage output is just blows it out of the water. But let's just go over the grid now for the moment. Alright, so just at a glance here, you can see that we probably almost certainly want to be taking Furious Brain, just a nice 30% damage multiplier. Here's your sync move multiplier. This unit is going to be syncing a decent amount because it's got the innate, it's got the AoE, it's just got very strong sync move. So let's pick up that as well. Then I would really try and lean into just this whole thing that it has with the stacking the special move up next effect. So I'd probably move over here and take this one opponent on field and hit special move boost up 1/9. I hate these passive names so much. I think we all do though, but just give... I miss the old passive names, man. Anyway, this costs 10 energy, but it's just another 50%, not 50%, sorry, 40% damage stack again. And adding on to all the other ones that you get. And we're left with 9 energy here, so I think these are probably the most crucial grid nodes that you could pick up. You can just use the other 9 energy to just pick up this other sync move up next if you want. Otherwise, I think what might be even better, honestly, is to just skip that and invest some co-op sync orbs to, like, you only need 10k, no, I think 20k to get to -2 energy here. This node here is incredible. If you're syncing a lot, might as well just add another 80% damage buff to your move after your sync. Why not? If you don't want to have this kind of overkill, status immunity, super nice. If you're dealing with a UB that inflicts status, or a legendary arena that likes to inflict status, just completely denying them that is obviously really nice. If you're doing solo challenges with this unit for like the legendary gauntlet, I'd honestly be surprised if this unit didn't automatically basically solo all of the legendary arenas. This you should have no problem whatsoever with the piercing blows and the free move next effect that it can have here. Shouldn't be a problem for this unit at all, so you can lean into that with that if your solos are your thing. You could... Oh, oops, that's a little bit too much. No, wait. Oh, yeah, exactly. Dauntless is a node you can pick up if you want. If you want to just stay at the 0 energy, this keeps your Furious Brain and your sync move innate effect maxed out, so that can't be dropped, which is always really nice. And yeah, at this point, like, take super effective hit. This is the same thing that Duskmane Necrozma has. I don't really see the point, honestly. Just don't use it against dark stages. Not necessary, but you can take it if you want. This it's got energy to spare. Yeah, it's got energy to spare, I guess. Endurance, always super nice. Again, with this Warm Moonlight passive, if your endurance basically means that you're never going to get one shot, obviously. I think we all know what that means at this point. And yeah, with this passive, you essentially have 1,800 HP, straight up, instead of 890 or like 900, practically. So yeah, fantastic node. If you want to pick up Unfortuitous, you're going to need to sacrifice some kind of node here, probably like this one or something. And then you could like pick up this one to, if we're staying at 3 out of 5, obviously. Unfortuitous is kind of nice, I guess. If you feel like you need to be lowering stats for a unique for an ultimate battle, but I don't know, it doesn't really seem conducive to what this unit is about, which is damage. You can drop stats to get through things like fluid fortification, I guess, but like you already have the piercing blows, you don't need it. This is kind of garbage, honestly. Sync move, special move up next by 1 rank when the trainer uses a move. It's just not necessary. Yeah, what's anything interesting over here? Yeah, we've got move gauge refreshes. Meh. Moonlight, Master Healer, MP refresh. These are bait nodes. Never take these. You never want to be using Moonlight. You want to be using the Warm Moonlight passive. And I do believe that this Master Healer thing wouldn't trigger, since this is not Moonlight itself per se. And yeah, other than that, we've got some circle stuff here. Move gauge. You get free moves anyway. HP recovery. Just have your tank heal. You don't even need a tank to heal you. You heal yourself passively. There's no point. You should be good, yeah. And then at this point, we can probably talk about the 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 nodes. The 4 out of 5 node here, Trainer Sync Redemption 1. Honestly, really, really nice. I like this passive a lot, just because you get another extended use of Alola Circle. And yeah, what's not to like about more Alola Circle? Just stronger everything for your team. And you also get more sync countdown, so it's essentially another turn knocked off, another super effective up next, but overkill, complete overkill, and another 3 special move up next stacks, so that's pretty great. Let's see what else we have here. Oh yeah, and then we have for the 5 out of 5, like, this unit only has the 1 charge of Alola Circle, but it's all it needs, honestly. You can easily, happily, like, get more if you pair it up with the Nihilego Alt that I mentioned earlier. And that unit obviously really likes having more circles, since it can only really attack every turn under a circle. And they just go so well together, honestly. Like, that one drops special defense, which this one doesn't. AoE, of course, as well. And yeah, they just pair super well together off-type wise, and then just throw on any kind of other tank, preferably an Alolan tank, like, just off the top of my head now, the Summer Acerola with the Jellicent, if you want to go for like the Ghost theme, or what are Alola supports again? The Tapu Fini, obviously, fantastic, although you've got a bit of an overlap with the zones here, with the Fairy Zone and the Ghost Zone. And speaking of Ghost Zone, let's talk about the 5 out of 5 passive here, which is the first hit Ghost Zone and Extension 3. So just more Ghost Zone, brilliant. This means that you can delay syncing with this character until your support EX has done its sync move. That gives you, since your only other Ghost Zone would be through your field EX roll, and just extending it, pure quality of life things. But these 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 nodes are nice to haves, but not entirely necessary in my opinion. This unit is already completely cracked at 1 out of 5. You barely even need the grid. But yeah, these kind of nodes are probably really just for the Selene mega fans out there. Shout out Boshi. Yeah, other than that, should you summon this unit? Like, the problem is that we have had, like, Ghost has not been in the greatest position. We lack the Ghost Arc Fair. We've only got 2 units, I think, that do the Ghost rebuff, which are the Halloween Yono and the Halloween Alistair, if I remember correctly. Ghost will almost certainly be getting the Arc pair with Volo and Origin Giratina, in my opinion, of course. I'm not an authority on that, but that seems pretty likely to me. But like, the biggest concern, honestly, is we've had so many 1% units drop lately, like month after month after month, it feels. And the gem count this month is also pretty low. So if you are not the biggest Selene fan, and if you already have a strong Ghost unit, like, we don't have like super top tier Ghost units, like Arc Suit level Ghost units, but we do have really strong ones, like the Irida one with Zoroark, we have Renegade Cynthia, we have Variety Cynthia. These units easily clear Ghost Week and off type as well. Like, if you have these units and aren't the biggest Selene fan, I would maybe consider not summoning this unit, since with the really low gem counts at the moment, this is already the point where you want to maybe start considering saving for the anniversary at the end of summer. But like, this unit is completely cracked, so I would recommend summoning it if you don't have a very good ghost unit. If you do, then you just need to make up your own mind, because Elio is obviously in contention as well. I do think this unit on its own is stronger than Elio, but Elio does have the better team comps with like Arc Steven and things like the Variety Hop and Rose and Signusuit Lear and things like that. So he already has really, really good team comps. Luna, this Duskmane Necrozma is like more of the cornerstone to build a good ghost team now, but yeah, you're gonna like, I'd probably recommend it just because it's so cracked, but if you're not a meta slave and aren't the biggest fan of Selene, you could probably skip this one and just save gems, because we also have two other really, really cool units coming this month, in my opinion, which are Larry and Samson. I really like the support zone units. But yeah, other than that, I think I've said what I wanted to say here. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video regarding Larry.